Of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger never cease to amaze us. Now, these three countries are to form a monetary alliance, yes, that will make them distance themselves from from the larger Western African bloc, and that will make them to stop the CFA franc. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent and particularly from the Sahel region, following on daily basis. So let's see what's happening. Just at the end of 2023, General Abdurrahman Tihiyani has visited the its French its neighbors Burkina Faso and Mali. He has met his counter parts, the leaders, Captain Ibrahim Traore and also Colonel Asim Goita. Now, after their meeting, when he returned, here is what he has to say. In addition to the security domain, our alliance must evolve in the political domain and in the monetary domain. That's what he said on the interview that he gave on Niger's RTS channel. So that is really a big step. These countries have never stopped to amaze us, and they are more and more breaking away from neocolonialism, what is imposed, which is known as a colonial pact or colonial tax imposed by the French government against this Western African country who used to be French colonies. Now, there are 11 components, but these countries and these revolutionary leaders are breaking away and canceling all these colonial taxes one by one, one step at a time, but in an amazing pace. Really, Niger, since the revolution happened in July, so many things have happened. Just really, to give you a background, they all have cut their ties with their former colonizer, France, and they have kicked out the French ambassadors. They have cut their diplomatic relationship. It's just because, the way France is acting, because they wanted to restore leaders that have been obedient to neocolonialism, that France can order as they want, but they have cut their ties. They have brought the revolution, changed the government, cut the diplomatic tie, owning their resources, the uranium, the gold, and even forming a security alliance, because ECOWAS, in which they are members to the economic community of Western African states, when they threaten them to militarily intervene, when they are basically being an errand boy to France. So this Sahel region have created a Sahel alliance, and they signed a military pact that will enable them to defend each other, from any military intervention. They are neighbors. So they say basically invasion of one of them will be invasion of also the others. They have also owned their natural resources. Now the monetary, this to cut away themselves from the CFA, which means that the Western African franc is known in French as the franc CFA, where CFA stands for a Community Financier d'Afrique, Financial Community of Africa, where France take 80% of their national reserves of this country. Basically, these countries are, this 14 former Western African countries that used to be a colony of France are financing the economy of France. Now, breaking away from this currency and forming their own will enable them really to lead the economy very well, and not to be dependent on France. Really a right step at the right time. So that's something, what the Sahel Alliance is doing. Another thing what they have done is also how they are cutting their relationship totally with neocolonialism, is that France in 2014 created the G5 Sahel Alliance. It's a kind of a forum that is created to fight back terrorism. So it includes the Sahel countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and also Mauritania and Chad. And these three countries, one by one, they have left it. Now the two countries, since the three have left, then they also have dissolved it. So and then what they did is the three countries, they came back and they created a Sahel alliance. So that will enable them, that will strengthen the security pact that they have signed before, and also that will really enable them to fight terrorism, which is not dictated by France, okay? Because ever since France, the French military and other foreign military was there, the terrorism really has claimed many lives of the Sahel region and IDPs, internally displaced people. It just got worse. Now, to work by themselves without any dictation from France, that's something needed. Now, to have a monetary, this is something what the African Union, the African countries are afraid of. This is why Gaddafi is killed, because he talked about the African currency, because he talked about the African military, one army of the continent. But these three countries are doing it. These three countries are showing the whole continent how unity can be formed. Really, we need to, from whichever African country we are, we need to support them. And globally, the African diaspora Africans globally should support this, because they're the best example for the African Union or the real African unity. They can learn a lot from them. Let me just go ahead and say, what General Abdurrahman Tihiyani said further for this, monetary alliance formation. So he did not give a timeline or details about the project, but he said was the main reason for him that he visited in December Mali and Burkina Faso. It was for this reason, one of the main reasons for him to visit. Now, let's not also forget that the prime ministers at the end of December, the prime ministers of these countries have met, and they said they are going to form a federation. Their ancestors, by the way, these three countries, they are very historical. Okay, it's not just out of the blue that Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are fighting their former colonizer France, because this is it's in their blood. Their ancestors have tried to do this, and they have been assassinated by the French government, by recruiting errand boys from the local people. So they basically, the prime minister have said, the three prime ministers, they are trying to finish the business, what has been started by their ancestors, by the former leaders, the first presidents of right after French colonialism, by the first presidents, which are, assassinated again for their noble ideas, because they wanted totally to break away, because they didn't want to sign that colonial tax, which has 11 components imposed by France against, its former colonies in West Africa. So that is it for us for today, and we will bring you more. More is happening in the Sahel region. Really there's a lot, so we will bring you each and everything here so that you support these countries. Please go ahead, and we will bring you also more by talking officials from these countries, and see how we can mobilize as Connect Africa on this platform, how we can connect with the government, with these revolutionary leaders in these countries, and mobilize the support globally for them from from Africans at home and in the diaspora. If there is any idea towards to this, please drop your ideas, your view in the comment section, and we will take it further. That's it for now. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and also share the video with your network. If you want to help us further, please go ahead and donate to our PayPal account, which you can find in the description section or in the pinned comment. It's a ciao for me now. I'll see you on the next one.